Hello, amazing human, and welcome to Neurodivergent Bites, a podcast for neurodivergent entrepreneurs to understand systems, change the narrative about productivity, and embrace yourself for who you really freaking are. If your energy is being sucked, you're struggling to focus, or you know you need systems, but there's a disconnect for whatever reason, join your host, that's me, Carolee Galt, along with fellow amazing humans on how being a neurodivergent entrepreneur has impacted the way they do life and business. If you're looking for bite-sized action steps, you're in the right place. Hello, amazing humans. Welcome back to Neurodivergent Bites. I am your host, Carolee, and today I want to talk about a very common question that I hear. When is the right time to hire a virtual assistant? You'll hear me say VA throughout this episode, so make sure you understand that VA stands for virtual assistant, okay? So I used to actually be a virtual assistant. That's actually how I started out in business. And it kind of fell into my lap when I realized I was really good at learning some tech things. I had spent far too much time on it, but it was fun for me. And so I was hired by a fellow entrepreneur and did some website work for her. And so I've been asked since then, since I scaled to an agency in 3 months. I had so much work. Everything was so overloaded. I had no systems. I had no support until obviously I hired it. And so here are a few things that you could take into account when you're looking at, do I need a virtual assistant to support me? Now, I have not hired a virtual assistant since my agency when I went out to just be my own, to be a system strategist and an accountability coach. It has just been me, but that's because I implemented systems in order to get my business back off the ground after the bottom fell out of it. And so I haven't actually needed to yet. So I am going to, put this as a little thing. A lot of times you might not need an extra team member or even the extra support from a human. You might actually just need better systems or systems in general. All right. So since I am a systems strategist, I would be happy to support you in figuring out which one you need if this podcast episode does not quite give you everything that you need, okay? There's always personal questions I would be happy to ask. You can go ahead and reach out. Look in the show notes for how to do that, okay? So when you realize that you have too much work on your plate, when you realize that you are losing your mind, when you realize you're not hitting deadlines, okay, that is a sure indicator that you either need to figure out your schedule and your time, you need to hire a team member, or you need systems. Okay, there could be many different things that are happening here. It's not just one size fits all. But I'm going to tell you, if your schedule is crazy, there's so many things on there, you're overloaded and overworked, chances are we need to scale that back. Okay. And I'm sure I've done episodes on this, or you can find some stuff on YouTube as well about your schedule and planning and so many other things. Or you can, let's just be real. Like, the more things on your schedule, the harder it is for you to feel in alignment with your energy. And when we don't feel in alignment with our energy, we feel like we are going to lose our minds, right? So you're going to think that you need to just hire a person to come do all the things, when in reality, it's because you just have too many things on your schedule. So keep that in mind. All right. So take a real good look at your schedule and see if there's anything in there that doesn't feel in alignment or that can be removed without really messing things up. All right. Some of those things might be things that you're like, but they might be for other people. Okay. So if you don't feel in alignment with those things and it's for other people, you might just need to take them off. Okay. It'll feel weird in the beginning and then it'll feel amazing in the end. So you might just think you need a team member, right? You might need to bring on that VA. Normally that's the first step. People bring on a VA or they bring on a coach of some sort, but we're going to talk about VAs in this respect. Normally you bring on a VA because there's too much work. You don't have the time to do it. You're feeling stressed out. Or it could be a different type of VA where you don't know how to do the thing and that's the reason you have to hire it out and you have no desire to learn how to do it. I was that person, that business owner that had to learn everything myself because I didn't have the financial means to be able to hire things out. So I've become a very multifaceted entrepreneur now. I've been an entrepreneur here for about 4 years. And so I have learned so many things the quote unquote hard way, but I totally attribute some of those things to why I'm so good with different things nowadays that I wouldn't have been good at if I hadn't gone it the hard way, like the long route, right? So for example, editing videos or filming videos. The reason I'm good at filming videos is because I edited my videos for so long that I understand what I need to do and what I don't need to do, right? Creating my website, doing all the things in my website, I had to learn the platform inside and out. Now I can do it super easily, right? So it's all been helping me. So before you decide you need to hire a virtual assistant, these are the two things I want you to ask yourself. All right? Is my time or my schedule too overloaded? Is it too taxed? And what can I do about it first? Okay? Because as a small business owner, we usually do not have a lot of extra capital to spend in our business. So especially if you're starting out or you're not making what you want to make yet, I always want you to pay yourself first before you pay like a VA. That was something that someone had told me. I cannot remember who, but like I was like, oh, okay, I need to be paying myself enough that I feel good for all the work I'm doing before I hire someone to do more work for me, and then I not feel as good about paying them, or I'm now not paying myself because I have to pay them. That's not working. You are working as an entrepreneur in your own business, and you need to be paid for that. So make sure you're paying yourself. Definitely don't hire a VA if you are not paying yourself. As much as I love VAs and they can help you with things, you have to feel in alignment with paying them. And if you're not paying you, you're going to kind of be resentful, right? It's different if it's one-off projects and you need something done, totally encourage it then. But if it's like a long-term thing to do your regular things throughout your business every day or every week, then we need to, we need to figure out what the easy medium is. So after you've looked at your schedule and your time, like if you're able to take that back a little bit, then I want you to look at your systems, okay? Because your systems can act like a team member and they cost you far less, right? We pay for systems, we pay for software, we don't pay for systems. I mean, we kind of do. But inside of systems is software, tools, resources, can be humans, right? Inside of these systems. So we do pay for things. But hiring a human is always going to cost you more. It should, because it should. The VAs need to be paid well. They do a lot of stuff, a lot of tedious things. Ask me how I know. So when you go and look at your systems, I'm talking, obviously your schedule can be a system, which I already pointed out. How are you keeping track of all your tasks in your business? What softwares and tools are you actually using to make your business run? Is there a way to streamline some processes which will take less of your time because you already have limited time, more than likely, right? Do we even know what systems are, right? Essentially, they're processes or steps on how to get from A to Z, which A is the starting point, Z is the ending point, right? And everything in between is those steps that it takes to get there. Right? Maybe you don't even know where you want to go as far as like your vision for your business. You definitely don't want to use extra money to hire people if you don't even know where you want to go with it and you're not confident in it, okay? A VA, a coach, none of those people are going to be able to do it for you. And that's the confidence part. They'll be able to support you in it, but they're not going to be able to do it and tell you. You have to feel it, to feel in alignment with it. They might be able to guide you, like I said, but like you have to do the actual work. If you're like, okay, my schedule, my time is looking pretty good. My revenue is looking pretty good. Like I'm paying myself, and my systems, they could use some work, but they're feeling pretty good. Like they don't look too bad, right? I would suggest hiring, if your systems aren't up to par, I would suggest either hiring a system strategist, hey, that's me, or I would suggest hiring a VA that has systems knowledge. Okay? Now, I'm actually a system strategist and a virtual assistant. Okay? I do virtual assistant work for some clients. So if you're like, I would just love to hire you, Carolee, because of like, look at what that looks like, you can totally reach out below, look at the show notes, because I would love to be able to support you in some capacity when it comes to your business. So the last thing here I'm going to tell you too is if you want to hire a virtual assistant just to take off some tedious tasks, that is 100% okay. Make sure you're paying them a good wage. That could be different depending on where you're located. because they always do more and they feel good and they deserve it when they're being paid well. Okay? They are business owners just like the rest of us, and so they need to be paid well as well. And make sure you know exactly what you want them to do, because it can be really dicey when you're just throwing a bunch of random things at them, racking up hours, and you don't really know where you're going. Like, we got to make sure we have a clear plan. If you don't have a clear plan, then hiring a virtual assistant is not going to be as supportive for you as you may have thought. Okay? Hire one when you're paying yourself, your schedule is good, your systems are in check, and you just simply are feeling really good, but you just need that extra hand. Like, you do not have enough hands anymore, right? But you've done the behind the scenes work to make sure that you have stretched your time in capacity, not like stretched it uncomfortably, but like you've maximized that to where you can hold off as long as possible to be able to not have to hire that virtual assistant quite yet. And if money isn't a problem to hire a virtual assistant, then absolutely hire them when you are ready. But make sure you hire a systems strategist, and make sure you're hiring a mentor in the process as well. And then have that VA come in and actually do some of those tedious tasks for you. All right. If you have any questions, reach out to me. You can do that in the show notes. And grab any resources that you have. If you are like, I would love to be able to just get some of these systems in place. I have recently, if you're watching this live, I have released my VIP week, and I would love for you to hop on my schedule for a VIP week, especially if you're struggling from a systems standpoint. We're going to create your entire systems game plan, so you know all the systems that you're going to need to create in your business for it to be incredibly functional. And then we're going to actually start putting the 1 or 2 or 3, depending on what systems they are, into place later on in that week. And you're going to have support along the way the entire freaking time, because you even get 30 days of Telegram access to me afterward for all those lingering questions. So you have time. It's set up to where you have time for all the downloads and actually doing the work, asking the questions, and all of that. You can go ahead and find any and all of those details below as well. And if you'd like to book one, go ahead. I would love to be able to support you in that. And I know the first couple of people are going to get some bonuses, and it's going to be custom to that person. So that way, like, you feel really, really good about it. I could be like, oh, you're going to have a $25 gift card, or you can have $100 off. No, I want it to be something super juicy for each person individually. And so I am not telling you what this bonus is, because I don't know what this bonus is. But if you are listening to this and you really want this systems week, right? The systems VIP week, I encourage you to head to the show notes, grab that link, and just kind of look it over, really figure out if that feels good to you. All right. Have an amazing rest of your day. Remember, you are truly amazing, and everything that you do, and make sure you're feeling in alignment with our energy. And I will talk to you next week. Bye for now. Before I wrap up today's episode, I want to thank you for joining me on this journey to empower neurodivergent entrepreneurs. I hope that you've gained valuable insights and a fresh perspective on productivity and self-acceptance. No matter where you are in your entrepreneurial journey, I'm here to support you. These transformative conversations will equip you with bite-sized action steps that you can apply immediately. Let's redefine productivity on our own terms and create a business that aligns with who we truly are. Make sure to subscribe to this podcast to receive the latest episodes and join our amazing community of neurodivergent humans. Remember, being unique is our superpower, and together we can rewrite the rules of success.